Hello everyone and welcome back to 5-Minute German. Today's video is going to be about personal pronouns in Akkusativ. This is a very simple concept and very easy to understand, but it is very important because it is very frequently used. And understanding this concept will help you in your daily communication, as well as you can use this in the writing part of your A1 exam. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. So first of all, we will take a look at when to use accusative personal pronouns or Personalpronomen. After that, we will take a look at personal pronouns in Akkusativ, the different forms, and then I will give you some examples so that you understand how these are used. And at the end, I will give you a PDF with a list of accusative verbs so that you know with which verbs you have to use the accusative personal pronouns. And you will also get a self-check form for practicing what you learn in this lesson. So without wasting any time, let's jump right into it. So as you know, a pronoun is a word which we use in place of a noun. We already saw the personal pronouns in nominative, which are ich, du, er, es, sie, wir, ihr, sie, and sie. If you don't know about personal pronouns in nominative, you can take a look at my other video where I explain these personal pronouns as well as the different cases in detail. I will link it in the description below. Now let's take a look at some examples so that we know when to use accusative personal pronouns. So an example is ich sehe Tim. I see Tim. Now in this example, ich is the nominative personal pronoun, which is also the subject, and Tim is the accusative or object. Another example is wir kennen Lisa. We know Lisa. So in this example, wir is the nominative personal pronoun and Lisa is the accusative or object. Now both Tim and Lisa over here are proper nouns because we have used the names of these people. But what if we want to replace them with personal pronouns as well? So how will the sentence look like? So in English, instead of saying I see Tim, I will say I see him, where him is the personal pronoun in accusative. Similarly, in the second example, instead of saying we know Lisa, I will say we know her, where her is the accusative personal pronoun. So you see that the accusative personal pronouns can be different from the personal pronouns in nominative. Now let's take a look at what are the different personal pronouns in accusative in German. So I have rearranged the nominative personal pronouns over here and divided the different cases into singular and plural. And I have split the third person singular into third person male, neutral, and female. Now let's see the personal pronouns in accusative. So the first person singular personal pronoun in accusative is mich, which means me in English. For second person singular or du, it is dich, which means you. For third person male, it is ihn, which means him. For third person neutral, it remains the same, which is es. In English, it means it. For third person female, it also remains the same as sie, which means her in English. For the first person plural, it will become uns, which means us in English, so quite similar. For second person plural, it will be euch, which means you all. For third person plural, it will remain the same, which is sie, which in English is translated as them. And the formal way also remains the same, which is sie, which means you or you all. Now let's take the same example that we saw earlier, which is I see him. So how will we write this? In German, it will be written as ich sehe ihn. So ihn is the third person masculine accusative personal pronoun in singular. The second example, which was we know her, this will become wir kennen sie, where sie is the third person feminine or female accusative personal pronoun. Now what if we have the sentence she knows her? How will we write this in German? So in German, this will be written as sie kennt sie, where the first sie is the nominative or the subject and the second sie is the accusative or the object. And because both forms are the same, that's why we will have to identify it from the context in which it is used. Now let's take a look at some more examples. So a common example is ich liebe dich, which means I love you. So over here we use dich because that is the object over here. So if you want to learn more about how you can find the object or identify the object in a sentence, then you can take a look at my video on accusative, where I have given different methods in which you can identify the object in a sentence. Now let's take another example. Sie besuchen uns am Wochenende. They will visit us on the weekend. So over here we will use uns because that is the accusative form of wir. Another example, Ich verstehe euch nicht. I don't understand you all. So over here we use the accusative form of the second person plural, which is euch. This is when you are talking to a group of people directly. Then an example with the third person plural is Die Kinder suchen sie im Garten. The children are searching for them in the garden. And over here, because the form is the same in accusative and nominative, that's why we identify it from the context of the sentence. An example for the formal way is Ich kann Sie nicht hören. I cannot hear you. So over here, we again identify the object from the context of the sentence. We can also use these forms when making questions. An example is Brauchst du mich? Do you need me? Over here we use the accusative form of the first person singular. And an answer can be Ja, ich brauche dich. Yes, I need you. So since you are the one who is being needed, that's why you are the object or accusative case over here, and that's why we use dich. So these are the different personal pronouns in accusative. You can take a screenshot of this table on the left and try to use these personal pronouns in different sentences so that you don't forget them. And now, as promised at the start, I have prepared a PDF with verbs which require the accusative personal pronouns after it. You can download it from the description below. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. Test your knowledge by answering the questions in the self-check form, which you will find in the description below. And if you have not yet seen the other A1 German videos, go and check them out right now. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.